we spoke about, I believe that one of the most important parts of practice is dynamic warm-up. As a head coach and as a coach in multiple sports, I was always interested in dynamic warm-ups for a lot of reasons. Number one, I wanted to make sure everyone was properly warmed up. It may sound cliche and easy, but number one. Number two, but it also was an opportunity to see where the strengths and weaknesses are, right? For example, we all know that some of you may have a hard time chewing gum and tying your shoes, maybe some of your bigger guys, right? Not as agile as some of the little guys. And number three, it allowed me to see some deficiencies, right? Mobility or flexibility or coordination. And number four, hi Dad, how are you? Oh, Wally, what's up, buddy?
Dad, that's great.
What's up, Wally? How are you, buddy?
Good to see you, Frank.
Good to see you. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. You see Rick over there? So those are all the reasons I looked at it. And I see a lot of times, even in major sports, where the head coach is off, doing his thing. And of course, I know sometimes you talk to the other coach. I got it. But I always thought the head coach should pay more attention to dynamic warm-ups. And so I think they're often misconstrued. So if I would ask you kids, what is the purpose of a dynamic warm-up? Yeah, that's pretty generic. Number one. What else? What else? Yeah, good one. Man, some smart kids here. Yeah, that's probably the first thing. We want to elevate our core temperature. When we elevate our core temperature, that allows us to be more pliable, more flexible, more mobile. What else? What else is a dynamic warm-up? Yes, sir.
Be in the right mindset.
And did you guys help them out? Did you already tell them? You're right, to get into mindset. Like, what is the rest of the practice going to be like? Right? We shouldn't be thinking about, oh man, what am I doing on the weekend? I'm going to the pool, I'm going to see all these girls, or I'm going on vacation to Disneyland. No, it should be focused on what else. Coaches, what else do you think a dynamic warm-up should be?
It builds team cohesiveness.
Yeah, some structure and cohesiveness. And so really what a dynamic warm-up is, all those things you said. Elevate the heart rate, right? We'll warm up. But what does that mean more specifically? We really want to, we were all talking about physical things, but we want to excite the central nervous system, right? We want to get that going. We know with research now over the last decades that central nervous system plays a huge role in what we do physically, right? We want to ignite that. And that's what it's kind of doing. We're preparing our body. That's why the old days of just static stretching was warming up, but wasn't really warming up. It's not exciting the central nervous system. It's not preparing the body to move fast, explosive, and powerfully. So my philosophy on this, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I've got a list over, where's that? I don't need that, but I've got a list over there, probably about 400 different dynamic warm-ups. There's nothing special about them. Some of them are for velocity, some of them are for power activities, some of them for speed activities, some of them for mobility. I would not get too wrapped up in it. I would also have 2 or 3 different dynamic warm-ups for your team, because what will happen is inevitably, no matter how focused, no matter how good your kids are, they're going to just start going through the motions, right? I know how it is. So I would have 2 or 3, and I can give you, and again, there's nothing special about it. Just be cognizant of what you're actually going to be doing in practice, right? So, number one, have multiple dynamic. I wouldn't have too many of them where it's like they have to think, okay, what are we doing? But I would have them posted. You can have A, B, or C, or whatever, blue, gold, silver, whatever you guys do, or a number. And then number 2, each exercise should be getting closer to game speed, right? No matter what sport it is, whether it's swimming, whether it's baseball, whether it's basketball. But if you're just going through the motions, you're doing them slowly, you're not really getting out of them, okay? And then lastly, I would use them as a coaching. So as I said earlier, you'll know where the weaknesses are. You know, like for example, linemen need to be pretty mobile in the hip area, right? Right, Coach?
Yes.
Right? That's very, very important. Yeah, you want to be strong. Yeah, you want to be smart. But mobility in the hips is very small, very important. So
You move a lot more people with core strength than you ever will with your arms.
Exactly. And so you'll see that when they're doing it, right? If you're doing a walking lunge or you know, if you're doing a rotational and you're getting this, like you're going to see that right away. So that's why I think these are so much more important, because on the field during practice, I don't have time to pull Nathan over here and say, hey, look, you know, you got to keep your hip lower. Of course, we're coaching, but the time to get that done is in the off-season, the dynamic warm-ups. And so I believe dynamic warm-ups are crucial for any sport, and they should not be going through the motion. So I try to cut out all the extra stuff and really focus on the core. And so I think it's my responsibility to find ones that the kids really like, right? And if there's ones where kids don't like them, unless it's imperative that I have it in there, then get rid of it. You know, give the opportunity to kids to empower. So the first one is pretty easy. I think any running athletes should, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just go right here. Do we have a little column?
Yep.
So. Okay, got it. So start, believe it or not, if you do too much dynamic warm-ups, you're going to run into kids that are not able to execute on the field, especially younger, more immature, and I don't mean immature mentally, but just physically, right? You're still developing. So I start at 5 yards, believe it or not, and the longest I would ever go would be 30 yards. And again, when I say 30 yards, those are Olympic, those are professional type athletes. And we progress to it, because again, I'm looking for quality. So the first one, all I want you to do is get on your toes, a nice walking, stand tall chest, and I like to also do it on a stimulus. So I want to get kids ready. So for football, I'd probably use a whistle, or you could use a clap, but I want them getting prepared for the stimulus, right? And the stimulus is a whistle in football. So I would be back here, and I don't have a whistle, but I'll go and clap. Right? So now I'm conditioning for football. Nice and tall. Use your arms, right? Walk normal, walk normal, walk normal. So why do we walk on our toes? I'm just trying to get the ankle warmed up. We know now, you know, back when I was a kid, it was all about, man, he's got big butt, he's got big hips. That's why he runs fast. And that's how sprinters were. Back in my day, they all had huge legs. But now if you look at it, men and women, they don't have the huge legs. These sprinters are very thin and lean, but they're powerful. They're powerful. They're throwing up 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 pounds worth of power when they're using these Kaisers. So that tells me that everything must start from the toes on up, right? When you jump, it's coming from the ankles, right? When I'm taking off, everything starts at the ankles. So turn around, we're going to go backwards. Here we go. Same thing. Help your teammates out here. Here we go, right there. Good. There you go. There you go. Get on your toes, nice and tall. Head on the sky. Head on the sky. Use your arms. And this might take us a little longer than normal, but normally you can get through this pretty quick. I don't know what the ideal. Jimmy Radcliffe is a famous strength and conditioning coach at Oregon. He's done an amazing job. You know, if you know anything about Oregon, they kind of they didn't revolutionize, but they were very successful at running the hurry-up offense. I think the normal football game when I was a kid was like 45 to 50 plays a game. Oregon was doing like 80 plays a game. And it kind of makes sense, right? The more opportunities, as long as you're executing, but the more opportunities, you have almost double opportunities to do well. And they were good at it. But he would take them through about a 6 to 8 minute warm-up. I think it's a little short, but that's all the head coach gave them. I believe probably somewhere between 5 and 15 is ideal. And you'll find that. You'll know when they start getting out of breath. Okay, next one, on your heels. Get your toes pointed straight up. There you go, nice and tall, hips forward. Hips forward, there you go. Use those arms, there you go, relax a little bit. There we go, keep breathing, keep breathing. When you get the cast started? I don't know. Okay.
We got an appointment on Monday.
Okay. And backwards, I got you over here, I got you. Use those arms. Get those toes up. Get those toes up. So these are simple motor skills. How many people feel like they're experts? Anyone feel like they're an expert? There was a couple pretty good ones. There were some other ones. So why do we do these? We got to get the ankle warmed up, right? Anyone have shin splints before? Almost every kid in the world, right? So this is going to strengthen that tibia and the shins, are all those supporting muscles, right? That's going to get it warmed up. And again, some coaches call it the rocker. Whatever you want to call it, it's very important. Very important for jumping, very important for running, very important for deceleration, very important for acceleration. Turn sideways on your toe, just a walking shuffle. There we go. Get your hands out. You play sports with the hands in your pocket? Big Saban ain't gonna let you do that, right? And we're gonna go back. Face the same way, so we work the other side. Why do we do this?
Lateral movements.
Yeah, why do we, so we know, the glutes don't work in a linear fashion, right? When we do squats, yeah, of course we're working the glutes doing a squat, but the glutes work in a fan, arc, lateral motion, right? And so we really want to get them warmed up. Same thing, heel, toe up in the air. Again, I can give you a list of these, and there's nothing fancy about it. Same thing back. Keep those hips forward. There we go. Stand. Oh, there we go. There you go. There you go. There you go. And you can notice some of you might be a little challenged just balancing. Am I right? Right? So do you think that's important? To be able to balance on your feet, especially linemen. Well, all athletes, but linemen, the footwork is probably the most important, right? The difference between me opening up here and here could be the difference between me being able to do that kick out, pull-out block, right? Could be the difference between him already there and you're back here, or at the point of attack. Okay? Next one, we're just going to do just a little skip with big arms. Big arms. Don't knock anyone out. And we're just trying to get the right. Just trying to get the right.
Get on the skip.
Backwards.
Turn around. Back.
Yeah. Reverse arm circles. Reverse them.
Yep. Walking and chewing down.
So think about it. I'm not picking on him. But we got the quarterback. And I'm not picking on you at all. If I am, tell me, coach, you're picking on me. I don't like that. But where does the quarterback spend most of his time?
Pocket.
Hopefully in the pocket, yeah.
In reverse.
That's all about the lineman. But where is he running forward, or is he in a backwards?
Backward movement.
Backwards. So do you think that could be important to be able to do stuff backwards? Heck yeah. Right? If you can skip backwards better, if you can walk better, if you have better balance, that's going to allow you to get back faster and to see more, right? So I'm not picking on you, I'm sorry. Okay, next one. Next one is just a sideways, big windmills, I call them, windmill. It's nice and easy. Cross that center line. You know that crossing the center line is very important for spatial awareness. There we go. There we go.
DJ, slide it up. Slide it up. All the way to the front. To the front. Only 5 yards, gentlemen. Getting deeper and deeper.
And so, look around. Some of you look a little more fluid than others, huh?
Remember, it's not for speed, though. You're not just trying to get to the line. Focus on the movement.
Yeah. And so, I only do this. At the end of the day, if you can't do this, does that mean that you're not a great football player or baseball player or basketball player? Absolutely not, but I feel very strongly if you have a strong core of basic motor patterns, that all these extra You know, DB back here, stepping over, all these different movements, or a quarterback, or a lineman pulling out. If you can do all these basic movements, those advanced movements will be a lot easier. 100%, right? Okay. So next one, this is just knees, just a march. Get that knee as high as you can. Just a march. Big chest, big chest.
Use the arms. There you go.
Put them up fast, put it up, down. Put it down quick. There we go. And I should hear some.
You just control it.
There you go. Okay, good. Same thing backwards. Go. There you go. Stand tall. And don't hurt your feet. Don't be natural, but I like that. That was nice.
Knees up higher. Isaiah. Nice and high.
There you go. Nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. Good. Up, down, up, down, up, down.
Good job.
So this is just a running fast. So we know in running, whether it doesn't matter what sport it's for, there's a little bit of technique difference between on a track and on a field, on a court. But we know there's definitely some best practices of how fast that foot goes down into the ground. It's force production. The more force, the more reaction we're going to get. And so that's why when we do a lot of these drills, you know, I see a lot of coaches just kind of get up there and they just put it down slow, but we're not teaching any motor patterns that are successful. It's got to be up fast, down quick. And you don't have to like hammer it through, but it's got to be pretty quick. Okay. So the next one, very similar, but I want you to roll off that. I want you to roll off your foot a little bit. You're going to notice this is going to take a little bit more coordination. Not an ace kick. Stay on the ground though. Stay on the ground though.
Like a cat race, nice kick.
Yeah, just roll up on the toe. There you go.
And it's hard to do when you start moving quick. Some of these are track, some of these are football. I like to blend them backwards.
There you go. Think it through, Ethan. Roll up on the toe. There you go. Still rolling up on that toe. There you go, Isaiah. Use your arms. You got arms too. There you
Don't
go.
worry about going fast. Go at your own pace, right? I know easier said than done. You're looking to the left or your right. This kid's doing it faster. Go your own pace.
There you go, Chase.
I would expect a skill player, defensive back, a wide receiver, I'll throw in quarterbacks as a skill. Not as much as a DB and a running back, but I'll throw them in. I would suspect that they should, my expectation was they move better than the line. Right? So don't feel like, man, I can't do it. Us small guys, we should be able to do it better than the big guys. Not that we can't get to that standard, so don't feel like, oh boy, I can't do it as good as this kid, or don't look at it this way. Because now we get an A skip. This is kind of like a track. All we're doing is put it up, put it down. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Just kind of a little skip in between.
Head up, eyes up, head up. Head up, eyes up, head up, eyes up.
And don't get in a hurry, because it's not the fact the first person that finishes.
Gotta bring those legs higher to that. There you go.
So same thing backwards. There we go.
Let's get backwards. You can do it. There you
1
go.
and 2 and 1 and 2.
There you go, Ethan.
1 and 2. Get that rhythm. Up and down,
Nice,
and up and
Isaiah.
down,
Good.
and up and down, and up and down.
Hold those arms, Andrew.
Here we go.
You still got
Those
arms.
arms, relax. So these are some of my favorites. These are some of my favorites. We're really exciting the body to move. And again,
Do not look backwards. We got it on all season, right?
you will run fast by strictly putting your feet down quickly. Trust me, right? There's a lot of ways we teach speed, stride, frequency, stride, distance, and sleds, and overspeed, and incline, and all that. But just know that the ability to put force to the ground is a primary characteristic of people that run fast, right? Okay. So next one, let's just get some rotation. I just want you to do like a little modified lunge. It doesn't have to be deep. And I just kind of want you to get a twist. Right leg forward, twist to the right. Okay? So it's 1, 2, step through. 1, 2, step through. I'm not too concerned with where the arms are. Just looking at a rotation. I'm looking at stability. And again, not a race. Go with your pace. What I'm looking at are my feet still and are my hips still. Does that make sense? So look in front. This is another good way. We talked about being a leader, right? Right? So I see what's going on in front of me. Right? This is another good way. Leviticus?
Yeah.
So this is a way that I can, hey, Leviticus. I like the rotation. Let's get that heel down just a little bit, right? This is how you can be a leader of looking around. You don't have to tell them, hey, that sucks, you're not doing it right, right? But you can say, hey, look, man, you had good rotation, but let's get that heel down, or your stride's too long, or it's too short. This is how you can be leaders that we talked about. Okay, this one's a little more difficult. Now we're going to go backwards. Step through. Best practice for me is probably, if you're having challenges of the same balance, shorten the stride up. That'll give you a little bit more of a base.
Keep your back in
Yeah.
your butt.
Yeah.
And see, I like these. We're getting work done here, right? As you can tell, there's a lot of improvement. So now when you get to the weight room, look, if you can't, and it's not you. I've worked with a lot of elite athletes the last 10 years. Heck, a lot of them kids can't even do the basic motor patterns. They're incredibly skilled, but they can't do these. So if you can do these, when we get to the weight room,
There you go.
we're in good shape.
Better.
Slow it down. So best practice. And sometimes I tell them how to do it, other times I don't. And sometimes I just want to see how they do it on their own. And then I'll kind of go back. So what do you think, guys? Do you think it's better for me to go stack my feet? You think that's a good base? No? Yeah, because that doesn't give me a lot of... Or would you rather see me do waist width? Kind of shoulders, hips, knees, ankles all in line. Would you like to see that? I think that's way more stable. Just try. Just stand here. Think about it. Nathan, go ahead and just stack your feet. Stack them.
One behind the other.
Yeah, one behind the other. Okay. Right? That allows stability. Now give yourself a base. Like, support yourself a little bit wider. Maybe about shoulder width. Okay, you feel good? Okay? So a lot more stability, right? So little things like this. I know the linemen talk about that all the time. Like, do we stand here and line? No. You got a wide base and that butt is down. And these 6'4", 7' guys are low to the ground. Pretty crazy at how mobile they are.
When you look at wrestling stances or fighting stances, your feet are almost always right at the shoulders or right outside the shoulders. The reason being is because it's harder to take somebody down when you have a wide base versus trying to fight like this.
Stability for sure. And the ability to go left, right, forwards, backwards, okay? So those are a few, and again, Josh and coaches, I'll write them down. There's nothing fabulous about that. I would probably now start really exciting. So I just want a high knee. Again, it's not fast, but I want piston. Piston. Arms should be moving, chest should be tall. Don't hunch over, I want you tall, right? Look, my chest is tall, I'm looking straight ahead. Chest is tall. Okay? We're pistons. We're high functioning, exotic race cars. Backward. There we go. Help your teammates out. Don't let them.
Andrew, you got
Get tall. Get tall.
Knees up, okay? Power isn't here. It's getting that knee up.
And don't worry about being first and then last. This has no bearing. And make that clear, coaches. We can help convey that to our players. Of being first in warm-ups doesn't mean anything. Being last in warm-ups doesn't mean anything either. Go at your own pace. We're not looking at it. We're looking at are you doing it correctly? and is it helping you warm up? Okay. So the next one I would probably let's do some high knees again. And when you get to here, all we're going to do is just slowly stride out. Slow. Don't run into that. Okay. And just slowly
Stride it out.
kind of stride it out 5, 10, 15 yards.
Good.
Stride out a little bit more, guys. Back it up. Back it up. There you go. Back. Stride it out to the yellow line.
Stride it out.
Back. And so we want to get used to. Now this one, DBs, you should all be pros. So when you get to this green, when you get to coach, so we're just kind of. I'm not asking you to be a defensive back, but we're running backwards. When we get here, just turn and run.
It's a line, it's good time to practice your drag catch. Hold that front foot.
Not a high knee, just a shuffle backwards, and then turn when you get on coach. Okay. So look, I would look now just to kind of see where for bearing. There we go.
And over knees, drop your backside, turn.
And don't worry about high knees. Just backpedal like you would normally shuffle backwards. Don't think about it. Just anyone play baseball here? You just think about what you would do if the ball was hit over your head. Of course, you open up and all that stuff. Don't put too much thought processing. Let's do that one again. Okay. A little bit quicker on the turn.
Turn. Good. Very good.
Cover some ground. Cover some ground. Okay. So, Coach, this will pay dividends.
Yep.
Right? All sports, so much of what we did back in the 80s was all linear. Well, we're playing in multiple different, so this is one of my favorite. And you'll really find, if you start doing this good, you'll really get the DBs. This is extra practice for them, to be honest with you. Okay? So, take a 1-minute break. That would be A. Let's take a little break. That would be A. That was pretty basic. I think you could probably get through them in 4 to 8 minutes. Do you guys feel like you're warmed up? Sure. Do you feel like you're ready to go do some full speed stuff? Sure. The central nervous system. You may not understand what it is, but maybe go home someday and do just a normal static stretch, and then maybe do 5 minutes of this, just so you know the difference and how it feels. So that's one. We can come back there, guys. We got about another 30 seconds left. Now we'll take them through. This is a different one.
There's nothing special about them. It's just
Like I said, make sure it's warm up. Make sure the pace is quicker, and I would say some variety. We want them to learn new skills. Like I would maybe throw in one new one once a week. I really like to do, so I would do a lot of stuff with my linemen. Like, okay, this week I'm going to do a lot of bowling. So we're going to do some karaoke, right? Because I know this week we're going to be bowling, like, or maybe the whole season. So I would make sure that maybe we did that. We could do different types. Okay, you can just do the walking, right? Or I can just do walking, and then you can progress into high knee, and then you can progress into jogging, then full speed. So things like that. Yeah, and those are good. We can get those in warm-ups too. I mean, I've done them in warm-ups. We just kind of we'll include that in there. Kind of loading. Yep. So we'll start with them. So I think like the high knee marches and the A skip, I think those probably should be in everything for a lot of reasons. So we won't repeat them, but we'll start with some. So these are plyometrics, but if we were doing plyometrics or if we were going into the field, I would probably do these. So some lateral stuff. So we're just gonna face that way. I'll stand up here so you can see me. So part of being in position is being in position. right? If I'm standing here, do you think I'm going to be able to jump and touch the rim? What if I counter movement? I got a pretty good shot. Probably won't do it now, but back in the day, yeah, there's no way possible if I'm standing like this in a non-athletic stance, am I going to be able to move quick, right? And it doesn't matter what sport, an athletic stance is not a squat, it is not that. It's a slight bend in the knees, you know, big chest, and my hands are here, right? So just get in, and it might look a little differently between you, but just get down and show me where your athletic stance. All of you, and I'm going to come down and just kind of, okay, that looks pretty good. Relax a little bit. Relax those hands a little bit. Pretty good. Okay, we got to drop that butt a little bit, huh? Okay, pretty good. And I'm going to be hitting you guys, and I hope that's okay, parents. It's all right. It's all right. Just a little FYI, I've learned over the years, I don't touch them with my hand. I nub it, either my fist or my forearm or my elbow. That just kind of keeps everyone on the... not that anyone had any ill intention, but I think it shows that you're respecting the other, and I think it makes the parents a lot more comfortable. Because a lot of what we do is touching, but I also know that could be construed in some way. So I've always held my hand for the last 30 years, held my hand here, kind of used here. I think that's appropriate for me, and it's always worked. Let's try one more time here. Okay, relax those hands a little bit. Big chest, big, oh, yeah, I like that. Now relax the hands. That's good. I'll line that for sure. Okay, good. So, what am I looking at in an athletic stance? What do you think, first and foremost, what should I be looking at? Anyone?
Balance. Balance.
Base, balance, stability, right? If you don't have that, how in the world are you going to react quickly? So remember that. Stability. Well, what does it look like? It probably looks something, and again, everyone probably about shoulder width. The butt is down, the chest is wide. My hands are just relaxed. I'm not here. I'm not back on my heels. I'm not like this, but I'm relaxed. I'm comfortable. Okay? So number one. Number two, why do I want to be balanced and stable? What am I going to do out of a stance? Which way? Everywhere. Right? Forward, right? So give me a stance here. Okay? Come forward. Okay? Do you feel pretty comfortable? Okay, I'll step out here for a second. Okay? Just go wherever I point. Okay? Now back to the side. Okay? Or what if I ask you to just turn? Yeah? Right? So there's infinite ways, especially when you're in a real game, right? We can teach agility, we can go left, right, forward, backwards, twisting, rotational. But in a game, sometimes these movements we never practice, right? You ever see that commentary like, oh my God, I don't know how this person made this catch or this run. It's intuitive. So first and foremost, stability and mobility, okay? So we're going to do some plyometric warm-ups. So before we can move, we kind of got to load, right? If I want to go this way, it's not so much stepping, but I'm loading, right? It's a small movement, but if coach tells me to move this way, just watch what happens. Go ahead, coach, just give me a pointer.
That's right, coach.
Did you see that small little movement? It's not big, but I'm loading. I'm loading. I'm not doing this and not low, but it's a small load, and I'm pushing, right? I'm extending. So just play around with it now. Find where your comfort, and just kind of slide down here. Just work on pushing. I don't care about the stepping, but the pushing on the left. Slow it down a little bit. Slow it down.
Do you load your gun before you fire it, or do you fire before you load your gun?
Yeah, exactly. And we'll talk about deloading here in a second, but I just kind of want you to get a feel for what it feels like. Just extend. We call that triple extension. Yeah, that's good. Hey, come on. Nate, right? Nate or Nathan? Okay. Nate does a really good job at watch this. Watch, and let's watch what he does well. Let's, you're going to move to this part. So take a look. You guys are all coaches now, right? You're no longer little high school students now, right? You're coaches now. So let's watch and see what he does well. Just go ahead and give me 3 or 4. Okay, stop. Give me one thing. What does he do well?
He leans back a little and explodes out.
He loads up.
Pushes off the foot.
Yeah, he extends that, right? If I don't extend and I just do this, did you see how long? But look at his stride. He extends. Is this a big difference in football?
Yes.
Has anyone missed a tackle? Man, I almost had him.
It's a game of inches.
Inches and angles, you're one. Man, these kids are so smart. They're taking all my thunder, man. Okay. So he does it really well. Let's do that back, and let's tell me some other things here. The Nick Saban guy over here. No, you're not done. No. That's good, Nate. Good.
On the stage.
Okay, go ahead. Just do it on your own, 2 or 3. Yeah, I see, Bunch.
He stops in between the catch and stops.
Yeah. So watch. Go ahead. Go to your left. Stop. He's balanced pretty good, right? I was hitting him pretty good, but he's balanced. He's resetting. We call that resetting. I mean, he's almost doing a kick-out block for pass protection, to be honest with you. And there's a huge translation for this. So what else was he doing well?
He was ready when he landed.
Yeah. Balance. He didn't do this, right? He wasn't an accordion going up and down. He was that. He was in an athletic stance the whole thing. A lot of good things. And what I really liked was that shuffle, right? He's being very efficient, right? He wasn't doing this. When our feet in the air, can I change directions? No. And track and field is different. I get this debate all the time. We run differently in football than we do. We don't have as high knees in football because we need to be close. But when we're hitting that ground, it's a force like you've never had before, right? So he does a lot of these good things, and this will pay dividends, okay? So next one, let's try that again. Let's just work on, okay? Let's kind of load. Just extend. Once you've extended, then shuffle, okay? So I'm going to let you guys just kind of work on your own. But think about, did I extend and did I reset? There you go. Push off. There you go. Okay, good. That was better. Yeah, oh, nice. That's nice. Oh, man, awesome. Good. Push the, oh, good. Yeah. Now, so we might have some mobility issues in your hip. Have you ever been told that? Hip's kind of tight, and that's okay. I have a really tight hip. But if you know and your coach knows, then we work on it. I've always had really, really tight hips, and my natural, when I stand, I'm pretty open, you see, right? Pronate, which is fine. Some folks are more like this. That, I'm just tight in that area, and that's fine. That doesn't make anything bad. Just be aware of that when we're moving around, okay? So next one, this one I want to focus on. Let's try to expand that push a little bit. We're still on the ground sliding, but I want you to see if you can cover more ground. Under control, right? I don't want looking all crazy. So let's try it again on your own. And let's watch. And are they extending that leg? Who sees the leg extended? Are we seeing it, guys? Really good one right there. What's your name, son? Yes. CJ, come on. Do you mind coming up? CJ, where do you play? Okay. Man, he's pretty good kid, too. Are you tough? Plays line. Oh, I like this. Linebacker, too? Only running back? Okay.
Yeah, he was our outside unit.
Okay, wow. So you got a little speed,
We
too.
couldn't use on both sides every play.
So I just want to watch. He's going to move to his left. I want you to only watch his right leg. So hopefully he does it right. Okay, what are you seeing? Go one more.
He wants to start.
Yeah, what else? Let's do one more. Are you seeing, we call it triple extension, right? Guys and girls that can run and jump fast are amazing at triple extension. Ankle, knee, and hip extension, right? My ability to get off the ground with my foot, my ability to extend, all 3 joints. And he did a pretty good job at that, didn't he? Right? And if you're good at extending, look at how much more ground. Look, if I just kind of here, but watch what happens when I extend. That was a one step, 8 inches. Now, multiply that by 2, 3, 4, especially as a lineman. That could be the difference between this, which is the difference between sitting next to the coach on the bench and the difference of seeing a victory on the football. I mean, that is just, that's bounds, okay? So let's try that back there. That's all I really want you to focus on is extending that leg, right? I want to go down and I want to see that extended, kind of like a lateral lunge. You guys know what a lateral lunge is? Kind of like that, okay? So really focus on that aspect of it. And go at your own pace. Come on, push and extend. Okay?
Just push more out of the back.
And the way you do it, you have to load on your right foot. That's a good job too. Good, slow down a little bit, Nathan. You're okay. Oh man, you do an awesome job. You might have to move him to guard or tackle, man. Good footwork.
He's got a good snap too, though.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Good footwork. Really good footwork. You probably do a lot of double teaming with him? You do a lot of double teaming with him?
We started working on double team towards the end of the season. Like I said, the first half of the season, we did so much pass blocking, we never
Sure.
got to do it. So.
Man, he moves well for a son. Yeah, moves very, very well. Okay, look, this time I want you to triple extension, but I also want you to reset. You know what I mean by reset? Reset. Reset. Okay? And so I should see a distinct 1, 2. Yeah, nice. Good work. Keep those toes forward, son. Please. Just a little bit. There you go. And bend down a little bit more. Get a little bit lower. There you go. Load that left leg. And don't rush that person in front. Hey, if you know that you're really good at this, maybe switch lines, switch gaps, right? We don't want anyone feeling rushed. So this one, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's move. Let's see how much ground. I don't want you jumping, but I do want you jumping. Does that make sense? We're not looking for height. We're looking at how much distance can we cover.
And still head balance. Yeah.
But push up. Push up. There we go.
Oh, awesome, baby.
Push up. There we go, right there. TJ, good job. Hey, that's better, son. Right there, I got that. Nathan, good job. Good. So, what are we doing? Can we feel it in the groin area, in the hip area? I just did a few of these and I feel like my hips are opening up, right? Pretty important for DBs and linemen, right? If you can't move in the hips, you can't be a lineman, you can't be a DB. Well, you can, you won't be as successful, okay? So this one, I want more space. I want to see how far you can get out there. Okay? Even if you're not quite under control, just show me a little bit how far you can get out. Put a little oomph into it. Okay. Get a little oomph in there. Let's see how big. Come on. Can anyone get here? Can you get here? Okay.
Need distraction.
So, and I wouldn't do as many of these. I'm just trying to get the feeling for them. Okay, so this time, let's go a little faster. I don't want you really focusing on, yeah, I want you to extend. I want you to get some air. I want you to get some ladder. I want you to reset. But I really want you to just do what comes next. Just get after it. Like what would happen on the field or the court, right? Okay, but try to pull a couple of those things together. On the clap. There we go. Cutter? Yep, CJ's got it. Get some air. Okay. Okay. So I still want you to extend. It's more like this. Right? Instead of a shuffle, but we will do some shuffle. And so let's go into a shuffle now. Again, we want this. Yeah, we want to keep, like in basketball, right? You keep, right? You're here. I'm always keeping the same distance almost the whole time, right? And it might be different for other people, but you definitely don't want them close. You always want a 6 to 12 inch space. So this time, keep them apart. Just a shuffle. Don't worry about pushing, just a shuffle. Nathan, good. Good over there. Oh, Nate, very good too. Eyes on me, right? Because we might do something, we might add something to this, right? As we go during the season, Coach, we could put a stop. So the first clap, actually, I don't want to confuse the second. So on clap, we move. On stop, we stop. 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 Okay? So we can, as we go during the season, you can get as creative as you want. And I think this will pay dividends when they get to coach. Coach comes to season and he asks them to do a flat pull or a down block or a scoop. He's like, oh my goodness, their footwork is awesome. Like I don't need to teach them. Now I can talk about who he's picking up and going to the next level of blocking. So I take a lot of pride in dynamic warm-ups. I think it's, especially when time is a premium, time is a premium. So
I don't think you know how much you warmed my heart with these workouts. These are the things I'm looking for all my life.
This is serious, guys. And look, this was a long time, but really as a coach, I just ask you, give me 6 to 10 minutes. Totally focused dynamic warm-ups. And I swear to you, you will be a better athlete, right? So let's do a little bit of lineman now. Let's see if the lineman can handle it. We're going to do just a karaoke, right? So it's just arms up behind, forward, back, forward. That's it. Just walk it. No speed. Just get ready for the move. Yeah.
Go. Good. Nice.
And don't worry about the hips. Yeah, okay, you got it. Okay? So this one, bigger. Bigger strides this time. Same thing, walking, but let's get a bigger stride. Go.
I'm just messing with you, Chase.
Good. Much better. Good.
Bigger stride. Really underneath.
Breathing's good. Good. Eyes up. Good.
If you do ballet, I want to see if you're trained. I'm just saying.
Very nice.
There we go. Good, good, good. There we go. Okay? So this time we're going to add a little step over. We're still going to walk, but it's back, and then it's step over. It's back, step over front. Still a walk, still a walk. And these are kind of natural progressions.
Yeah, there you go.
And again, it's not a race.
Good. Nice, Nate. Good.
Step it over.
Check the nice.
Big step still. Big step, big step.
Take that big step.
Don't keep the knees so stiff.
Yeah, just kind of relax a little bit. There you go.
No.
And you can turn the hips a little bit, right? When you're here, you turn a little bit.
But
Yeah.
raise that. When you do the step in front, raise the foot up. Like raise it.
Yeah. Exaggerate that movement. But step it over.
The whole point is
Same thing. Same thing. Step it over. Good.
Nice. That was very good.
Again, just a walk. Step it over. Big step. Big step. Big stride. Big stride. Big stride. Exaggerate that stride. Oh, good group. Good group. Okay? So this time, you know, the final, when we're all pulling together, is going to be, I don't care about length, all I care about is speed. So I want to quit. This is what I should see. Quick. Step it over. And this is where I really want to see some speed, because I want to see who can run and who can move at high speed. Get those hips moving. Get those hips moving. There you go. Come on, get the hips moving. Get the hips moving. Oh, nice. Step it up. Good, good, good. Good job, guys. Very nice. There you go. Step it over. Step it over. Quick, quick. So, yeah, just focus kind of on your hips, right? Look, just hips. It's really all your hips. That's really all I'm doing, and your feet will follow. Just kind of move those hips a little bit. Move those hips. Just move your hips a little bit. All right? Okay. Let's. Yeah.
So, I would like to see this. So where we're loading here, just go backwards. Just loading backwards in parastat.
Well, let's finish up with the karaoke. Yeah, just one last one, real quick, real quick.
Nathan, bro.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good. You're good. Real quick, real quick. Hips, 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 hips. There we go. Step it over, step it over, step it over.
So I had a broken toe, so I'm trying to do this and now this is
So, hey boys, let's just go to a backward like Coach wants for, especially for linemen. This is important for DBs too, right? We got that pressure on the big toe, right? As a DB, the pressure's on the big toe, and we're pushing and stepping. So really, all we're doing is put 1 foot forward. Doesn't matter. We're going to switch them both up and put pressure on the toe. And I'm loading a little bit. I'm dropping the hips a little bit, and then I'm pushing into an athletic stance. That's the key. Don't go too far. Don't go too short. But when you land, I'm going to come around and be pushing you to see if you're... So just go on your own. You can go on your own. Got to jump back. Push. Oh, good. Good. Nathan, good. Okay. Good. And don't worry about how far it is. As you get more warmed up, as you get stronger, that will happen naturally. And the taller you are, the longer the stride's going to be. So don't get wrapped up like, hey, look, Nathan's a tall kid, right? So his step is going to be completely different than mine and yours. Don't get wrapped up. Okay, let's switch feet. Let's switch feet. Again, get a little air time. Load. Go on your, just go on your own. Load, and then reset. Push off that front foot. Good. Hey, good. Good. You're okay. And maybe a little wider, maybe a little bit. Okay, good. You feeling different? Good. So look, it's not perfect. Not all of you are going to be doing the same. But the ability to do this is pretty quickly. So, and we can get creative with this too. Especially, there's nothing wrong with doing this. So again, on my command, go, stop. Okay? Don't worry about getting air time, but I want you to worry about getting back. Okay?
Be in a position where you can hit somebody.
Stop. 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 A little bit wider, Nate. A little bit wider. Stop. Stop. A little bit wider. CJ, is it CJ? No, Brody. I'm sorry, Brody. A little bit wider. There we go. Stop. Go. Stop. Okay? Go. So, when I was looking, when I heard stop, I wanted to hear complete silence. Did we hear complete silence? Pretty good. But there was a couple you heard extra little. The more we do it, the better we'll get. But ideally, I'm here and it's stop. You don't hear nothing. Now, I know if you're in mid-stream of a step, that's hard. But really, that's what Coach wants us to be able to do is stay low to the ground, right? So we're able to stop, go forward, go backwards, left or right. Because when we're in the air, in any sport, we can't really change direction, right? Would you agree with me? Michael Jordan maybe defied a little bit, Dominique Wilkins, Dr. J, but for the most part, when you're in the air, you can't do anything. Okay, take a little break. Take a little 1 minute break. Oh, yeah. And I wouldn't do, where's you at?
It's more about what feels natural for you.
Oh.
So if you're a little bit wider stance, you can still keep power, that's fine.
And I wouldn't
For
go,
most people with wider stance, they probably
I wouldn't put all of you like,
so
totally wear them out for
if you're back
kind of goal, like you don't need one.
or you can go. It just depends on where you're power at. Yeah, but what's your thing?